I am the way of the future.
All right. Welcome to Dangerous Radio. And I'm the host, your host, and of course the host with the most, Dr. Thomas E. Guns, the Dangerous Brain. And this is episode 1, meaning this is the first shot in the rebellion against Globalist Wrestling Elite. You know who they are. I'm not allowed to mention them by name because, people will get pissed off, but we know who the Globalist Wrestling Elite is. I don't have to explain it. Thing is, right, there was an era that had one governing body in professional wrestling. The National Wrestling Alliance. And see, they were there to ensure that this very thing never happened. They were there to ensure that somebody like me wasn't necessary. And then the Globalist Wrestling Elite took over. And see, even the Globalists, they don't remember or respect where they came from. So that's why somebody like me is needed. You got to understand, you need people like me. Professional wrestling needs people like me. Almost as much as they need the wrestlers in the ring, they need people like me. And that's not all. You see, I'm learning, and now, since I've been in the business, I'm learning now that even indie promoters, some of them, may very well be agents for the Globalist Wrestling Elite. Be honest with you, I think Robert Langdon might be an agent. I know the guy. I worked for NWA Texoma for 2 years. I still, and they don't know this, well, they will now, I still have access to certain things amongst their company. Unlimited access. I can sign paychecks. If only they knew. I got people on the inside. They don't know. This is all part of the rebellion. This is the resistance. And I'm going to lead the resistance. The people. And that's what I'm here to do. Tell the people. And it's all in my book. You can pick it up as soon as it's published. If it ever gets published. Robert Langdon and Why He Stinks. An inside look at Robert Langdon by Dr. Thomas E. Guns. It's a great read for intermissions. Sitting on a toilet. Or even driving on the long road trips. So you can read until you get car sick and puke all over the rental. Now, we also here at Dangerous Radio, we don't get funding from the Globalist Elite like most other wrestling talk shows do. We don't have funding. We have to count on our sponsors. Advertising. So that's what we do. We advertise for certain products. And it's things that I personally use and can vouch for. So I'm okay to endorse these products and get paid. So, first things first, one of our sponsors here, Sourpuss Lemonade Stands. You find them at various locations across several states or on your local sidewalk until the cops shut them down. Sourpuss Lemonade Stands. Yes, we washed our hands first. Also, the Church of Turner. It started out small, eventually was able to expand after paying other pastors to convert and join them. It's the Church of Turner where the big boys pray. Now, back to the news. Let me see what I got on my desk here. See, this is important stuff here. I'm reading the news here, and a recent attendee at a Globalist wrestling show suspected mind-altering chemicals in the popcorn. The fan claimed concession stand popcorn tasted strange, had a hint of a metallic taste, and after consuming it, the fan felt compelled to buy several t-shirts, 8x10s, and even donated money to the corporate offices to add more decorative plants and coffee makers. See, this is stuff I hate. It's a takeover of the sport, the business, and even the fans through mind-controlling concessions. You buy popcorn, maybe a cold soda. Next thing you know, you're paying $10 a month to watch the business die by the hands of rigged contests and questionable reality shows. It's sick. I'm telling you. It's disgusting. But just don't upset them. They'll erase you from history. You won't be allowed on their channel anymore. Here's another one. Possible subliminal mind control in wrestler entrance music. A man in Utah was fired from his job when he delivered a stunner to his boss. While working a shift at a restaurant, someone dropped a tray of glasses, which caused the man, a 23-year-old busboy, to immediately stun his boss and give him the finger. See, folks, this is what happens. This is what happens when the globalist elite start to get control. And this happens more than you think. I remember back in 1998, a graduating student was graduating from high school, took the stage, and upon receiving his diploma and hearing pomp and circumstance, he flew off the stage and elbowed the home economics teacher. This isn't new stuff. I've seen it. I was expelled once for yelling Hacksaw Jim Duggan's call during a cheerleading performance. The whole pyramid fell over when I yelled that. Oh! Out the door I was. You see, the control doesn't end at what you see in the ring or the many backstage segments. It's a documented suspicion that more vomiting takes place on Monday nights at around 10 p.m. Central Time. More people are getting hives and puking. Puking! Monday and Friday nights. I'm not making this up, people. These are almost facts. Look it up. Send me the link, too. Dr. Thomas E. Guns, A Dangerous Brain on Facebook. At Thomas E. Guns on that Twitter thing. More after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You know, despite my feelings on a certain promotion, more like the office staff of a certain promotion, I have no problem plugging certain events. In fact, I like to plug certain events. I like to do whatever I can to help the business, try to save the business from the globalist elite. So I'm going to plug a show here. And this is tonight. NWA Texoma Live Pro Wrestling in Sherman, Texas. August 21st, 2015. The Von Erichs, Marshall and Ross, sons of Kevin Von Erich, the next generation of the Von Erichs, will be in action in NWA Texoma. Not only that, but the world's heavyweight champion, Tenzan, the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Champion, the only real World Heavyweight Champion in professional wrestling, will be in attendance. And the National Wrestling Alliance president, the only president that I have, President Bruce Tharp, my good close personal friend, will also be in attendance. And this is a good thing. Him being there might keep the globalist elite spies and agents at bay. We can only hope. That's at the Sherman Elks Lodge in Sherman, Texas. Tonight, 6 o'clock. All matches are sanctioned by the National Wrestling Alliance. You can get your tickets at the door or www.nwatexoma.com. That's all right. I'm allowed to mess up. Now, look, the reason I'm plugging this show, knowing I won't be there, and I'm still banned from Texas, thank you, Langdon, is because my favorite wrestler and good friend Jake Logan will be there to face Jerome Daniels. Our pal, Jake Logan. Now, let's not forget our old friend and possible globalist agent Robert Langdon hasn't approved this match, nor has he even booked the match. Knowing what Jake Logan has brought to the table and the hard work he's blessed the Texoma fans with, Langdon is playing his power card once again to keep great wrestlers like Jake Logan down. It's all jealousy on Langdon's part. He doesn't like Jake Logan. He likes Jerome Daniels. I don't have a problem with Jerome either. I just think he's making the wrong choices. I think he has his headphones on a little too tight. Don't get me started on Jerome. That's another show. Jake Logan is a winner. Jake Logan brings the female audience to the events. Jake Logan knows he's good, and that's why Robert Langdon is jealous of Jake Logan. I think Langdon is threatened by real talent. I also think he paid Nathan Briggs, a wrestler I tried to endorse, to insult me on social media for his own entertainment. It's in my book. I'm frustrated. We're going to a commercial. I got to take a break. I'll get you, Langdon. All right, we're back. I'm feeling a little better. Damn you, Langdon. I want to plug another show, another wrestling talk format show that I personally think is a excellent show. Offshoots Network on Podbean, home to the Nigel Rabbit Show, another good friend of mine. You know, you can keep up with the current events and interviews with Trey McLean on the Offshoots. And you can tune in to the Nigel Rabbit Show with my good friend from where the sun never sets, Nigel Rabbit. Once you get past his nationality, he's good people. He's a foreigner and all, but, you know, better than nothing. Still one of the greatest minds and greatest managers in professional wrestling today, I think. Check them out, www.theoffshoots.podbeam.com. Good stuff, great interviews, and that's their plug. That's what they get. Look, I know what some people think. I've heard it all. Thomas C's crazy. He's a problem. Let's drop him off on the road here and leave him. I know how it is, people. But we can't let that stand in the way of what's really going on. The globalist elite in pro wrestling are out for your mind. The cure isn't a tinfoil hat. It's not a pill. It's not a drink. It's not Kool-Aid. It's not coffee. It's an affordable small piece of paper that gets you a chair at an independent wrestling show where you can see the hardest working professional wrestlers on the planet. Thanks to the National Wrestling Alliance. And, of course, President Bruce Starp, my president. Let me get to some more news here. This is a strange one. Campers in the Connecticut wilderness stumbled upon a strange scene. While hiking, they found a gathering of people chanting and dancing around in the nude. Meanwhile, a pile of VHS tapes was set on fire in the middle of a stone sculpture of a wrestling ring. The gathering was attended by many elite globalist leaders in pro wrestling who were also seen praying to a big wooden W carved in a tree. You see, man, this is why I don't go camping. You never know where these guys are at. They're everywhere. They're at the shows. They're at the meetings. I mean, you can't get away from them. They're everywhere. They're watching you. You signed up for their little network. They're watching you. I know this. So while you're watching the same show over and over and over and over again for 6 months in a row, they're watching you. You got your little Xbox? They're watching you. And the guy on the top, he knows what he's doing. In fact, I want to give a shout out to the guy at the top of the Globalist Elite. Top of the morning to you, sir. I don't know when you're going to look at my application, but, you know, it would be nice to hear something back. That's neither here nor there. See, the Globalist Wrestling Elite, and again, we all know who they are. They're not hard to find. They're everywhere. Their app is on everything. And they don't mind taking somebody, a great, talented, professional wrestler, and making a mockery of him by changing his name, forcing him to work some ridiculous gimmick. It's no secret. And this has been going on since the 80s, people. And if you can't see it happening, then maybe it's time to wake up. Or you can stay asleep and be the sheep. See, most people count sheep when they go to sleep. What do you do when you are the sheep? What are you supposed to do when you can't turn on your television and enjoy a quality professional wrestling show without having to submit yourself to the mind-altering, childish, gimmicky, goofy garbage that they want to show you on a daily basis, once or twice a week? Don't get me wrong, it used to be good. It used to be quality. There was not a time when I wasn't ready every Monday night, and back in the day what used to be Thursday nights, my VCR was set. That's right, my VCR. No DVR. We weren't into that. Come on now. I'm old school. My VCR was set. I did not miss an episode. I made sure whatever job I was working, I had those nights off. I put in extra hours during the week just to make sure I would have those nights off. And I kept up with it. I was impressed. I wanted to be a part of it. Now you look at it. It's disgusting. But I digress. Well, we got to cut to another commercial. We see, we're almost as bad as them here right now. 5 minutes, entertainment. And then we'll cut to another commercial. The only difference is I don't depend on these commercials for a paycheck. I don't allow advertisers to put their subliminal commercials onto my show. I focus on the little people, the fans, the real promoters that aren't agents. Again, this is all going to be in my book. Eventually it'll be released, published. Somebody will pick it up. I have faith in the system. Not a lot, but enough. All right, we're going to another commercial. We'll be back. Bear with us here, folks. I'm bored with this already. Damn you, Langdon. All right, we're back. We're back. You know, during the break here, I just received a phone call from what they said was some of the higher-ups insisting that I don't post this episode online until after tonight, being Friday, August 21st. And this is the kind of stuff that I'm talking about, because the globalist wrestling elite are everywhere. And since this is a pre-recorded show, it almost makes me wonder how they know I'm standing here in this 100-degree studio right now recording this. It lets me know that I'm obviously getting to somebody up there. And that's what the elite hates. They hate people like me. People. Because I speak the truth. I share my knowledge and my beliefs of the facts. I'm not going to make this stuff up. Why would I have to make this stuff up? You can go to an independent wrestling show anywhere in this country, and you can see the difference between real professional wrestling and what the globalist wrestling elite bring you weekly and daily on their little channel. And if you want, you can go and you can look at it yourself, and you can come back to me and apologize for doubting me later. I'll expect many phone calls after this anyway, because God knows I have the tendency to upset the masses. But that's okay. That's all right. That's what I do. I am a professional pisser-offer. That's why so many people love me. And I'm here for you, the professional wrestling fan. I'm looking out for you. I'm watching your back. I am the leader of the resistance. Dun, 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 dun. See, it all comes down to good and evil. Evil being the globalist wrestling elite. Those guys at the top that bought everything out. And it doesn't stop there, people. I'm sure this scandal goes all the way to the White House. The so-called president of the United States is probably a globalist wrestling fan. And that's why they get the power that they do. That's how a professional wrestling that has made history throughout the business can become an unperson. Leave it to them. Don't take my word for it. Go try to look up a few of your favorite wrestlers. They're not there anymore. That's okay. Every person that they erase from their history, every professional wrestler, every personality that they erase from their history stays a part of the National Wrestling Alliance history. And as far as I'm concerned, is more than welcome in my section. And I like to think that they're more than welcome in the National Wrestling Alliance, despite whatever accusations, despite whatever might be said about them in the mainstream media. And that's how you fight the globalists. You second guess them every time. You contradict them every time. They do something, you stand up, you say, we ain't doing that. We ain't taking this. It's up to you, the fans, to stand up for your rights as professional wrestling fans. Because the globalist wrestling elite are telling you who to like, whose t-shirt to buy, what to watch, when to tune in once a month to see the same repetitive garbage. You know, I came up, there was a pay-per-view 3-4 times a year. It made things more exciting. And now you have it shoved down your throat once a month. And while I can respect the professionalism of some of these guys that work for the globalist elite, I don't think I can respect their leaders anymore. I just can't respect the direction they're going. I don't care how much you get your nose broke, your gimmick stinks. But I'll give you props, though. I'll give you props, because you showed the world the true meaning of professional wrestling over sports entertainment. And that, I'll give you props for. That CD still sucked. But damn it, man, you got in there and you showed the world what it means to be a professional wrestler, and I'll salute you for that. Everybody knows who I'm talking about. And I'm sure he'll listen to this too, because, well, the globalist elite are always listening. They're always watching. They're everywhere. I told you. All right. I'm being told it is time to go to another commercial. When this gets posted online later on, I'm going to make sure these commercials are cut off. Because half of these commercials aren't paying me. They're paying the guys that are supplying the studio and microphone and technology used to do this broadcast, but they're not paying me. So when I share this later on, you can rest assured that I'll be cutting a lot of these commercials out. There's just no use for them. I've plugged my supporters, and I will continue to plug my supporters. Sourpuss Lemonade Stands, Church of Turner, the offshoots on Podbean, Nigel Rabbit, Rabbit Empire. Hell, I'll even plug National Wrestling Alliance, Texoma, despite what's been done to me by the higher-ups there. Damn it, Langdon. Let me explain this. What happened to me? Because I know a lot of people, they got used to seeing me at NWA Texoma shows. I was the guy shouting words of encouragement to some of their best superstars. I was the guy that co-promoter Terry Hopper turned to Well, she wanted to stick it to Robert Langdon. And it didn't take long. I showed Terry Hopper the art of war. We studied. We created heels to faces. And about a month later, we had the heavyweight championship of NWA Texoma through our good friend Mike Fox. And I'm not going to take any credit away from Mike Fox. He won that title. He won that title clean. But I wonder how far that whole situation would have gone without the advice that I shared with Terry Hopper. And don't think I didn't try to help Robert Langdon. I went to him first. Showed him the blueprints of the plan. How do you take over the world of independent professional wrestling? How do you become the biggest independent professional wrestling promotion on the planet? I showed him. He chose to ignore it. And me, I turned the other cheek. As we were pulling out of the parking lot at the Texoma Elks Lodge there, I turned the other cheek right out the window and mooned him. Which might explain why he doesn't like me very much. But see, what they did to me was sent me on a wild goose chase to give an interview to a professional wrestler that was supposedly coming to work for NWA Texoma. And the minute I stepped out of the vehicle, they drove off. They drove off and left me standing on the side of the road to where eventually I ended up in Cornwall, Canada, freezing, starving. You know, when I first got into the business, I was sent a package. We call it a heel package. Received a pair of brass knuckles, can of black spray paint, a handful of salt, some flash paper for fireball throwing, and my personal favorite product that I received was a 16-ounce jar of Freebird hair cream. How do you think I keep my scalp and my head so clean? It takes work, and it takes the Freebird hair cream. But when they dropped me off and left me here in Canada and abandoned me to die, starve, and freeze to death, I was forced to eat that Freebird hair cream. It was tasty. I'll admit it. And I'll never have to worry about growing hair on my tongue. But damn it, my hair has never been the same. I don't have that clean scalp that I'm used to having. And I blame Robert Langdon. And I will have my revenge. You hear me, Langdon? I know you're listening. I'm going to get you when you least suspect it. I want to make sure that every one of your fans that's sitting there at that show tonight, even yourself, has to look over your shoulder and wonder, which one of these people is working for me? How many people are going to be at that event feeding me information? You're going to have to wonder, is that my guy standing next to you behind the curtain? You're going to have to wonder, is that my guy collecting money at the ticket booth? Is that my guy at the pay window? You're going to have to wonder this stuff. Because just like the globalist elite, I got people everywhere. So for every agent that they have, I have somebody watching them. I'm that bad. All right. That's about all we have time for right now. We're going to have more episodes. I just hired an intern from high school. He was interested in radio. He was walking past. I gave him a $10 bill and said, I got a job for you here, and all you got to do is shut up and agree with me, which is easy. Very easy person to agree with. All right, people, enjoy the events. Try to enjoy the events. Wake up. Don't turn a blind eye to the globalist elite. Don't turn your back on them. Keep your eyes open. Stay vigilant. This is Dr. Thomas E. Guns, the Dangerous Brain. This is Dangerous Radio. Signing off for now. You can expect a lot more. We'll be back. This is war. This is the resistance.